So over these past few weeks, it's kind of been like a little rough road for the Lakers. I mean, tonight they lost to the Wolves, and I think that would make it twice that they lost to the Wolves this season. I believe the first time it was a blowout, and then this time, it was closer. It was a 10-point loss. But the Lakers, they start off the season, decently all right, but over these last few weeks, they took a loss to the Hawks, they took a loss to the Heat, the Timberwolves lost, they lost to the Thunder, the Suns, Nuggets, Magic. Competent playoff teams, I guess. Yeah, most of those teams are competent playoff teams. So, what's the next step for the Lakers? You have a 40-year-old LeBron James. He isn't playing right now. Who knows what he's up to? He said he's on leave for personal reasons, whatever that means. But realistically, next season might be his last year, at least in my opinion, because this is the first time this year that we've seen that the age is starting to get to him. And the crazy thing about it is that he's still able to basically average like a 22-point triple-double being washed, basically, which is crazy. But basically, LeBron doesn't have the same impact that he used to have over a game. Like, he can't just get me the ball and I'll get us this win. He can't do that anymore. Because we've seen over the past couple years when they faced the Nuggets in the playoffs, he's tried his best to do that, but the impact's just not there anymore. So, it's gonna be sad once LeBron leaves, man. That's all I gotta say. AD, he started off the season as a monster, but lately he's kind of been a little stagnant lately. Against the Wolves tonight, I think he had like 23 and 11 or something like that. Just a average little game. But the Lakers, the way the roster's constructed, they need shooting still. The shooting just hasn't really been there for their whole tenure, besides when they won the championship. They kind of either they always been a below average team. And, they were 9 and 33 tonight. That's 27% off the top of my head, I believe. Somewhere near that. And, each time they try to add shooting, it just never correlates. Their best shooter on the team is D'Lo. He went 1 of 7 tonight. In my opinion, he's probably their best shooter on the team. And, I don't really see any possible paths to get any more shooting for them. Like, who on the trade market? I mean, there's Zach LaVine, but what are you going to give up to get Zach LaVine? And then even then, that will destroy your roster even more, because now you're losing depth. And then it's just going to be, like, we see what's happening with Philly right now. That'll probably most likely be LA situation, but worse, if they traded for someone like Zach LaVine. But, I really don't know where you can get shooting from. Hopefully they start to fall, because, you can't be a below average shooting team nowadays and, be competitive. The Magic, they make it work, but they're just a great defensive team. The Lakers, they're all right. They're not elite defensive team. So where do I see the Lakers finishing? I'd probably say they're probably gonna be a playoff team this year. I wouldn't be surprised if they were like a 7th seed or something. They're gonna be in the play-in again. They might make it out, they might not. But the furthest I see this team going is probably their ceiling's like the second round, in my opinion, because it's just the same old Lakers team from, I guess, these past 3-ish years. Like, play in you go on a little run and then you get eliminated. So, their future, you still have AD tied up. And then once LeBron leaves, you're going to have to fill in that hole somehow. But, it's kind of like years down, like, let's say like 2 or 3 seasons from now, where the Lakers would be at. If they still have AD, they might be competitive somewhat, depending on like who's on the roster. But I just see it. I think it's going to be like a Pelican situation, like that Anthony Davis was in, where just a bunch of like solid role players and then AD, and never really going anywhere. And that's kind of their future. And who knows? AD might leave. I don't know the gist of his contract situation. I know he's tied up for like at least like 2 or 3 more years or something like that. But yeah, their future is just kind of bleak. And that's what happens with most teams when you trade for a big star, or you make that serious trade that gets you to title that gets you the title. And you could live with that because you won a title out of the last 10 years, and some front offices are willing to make that sacrifice. So yeah, that's kind of a gist on, I guess, the Lakers' current situation.